running to the government for protection, whether it's the gas lamp lighters with the advent of electricity, whether it's certain other companies. I mean, there's a whole list of types of companies facing obsolescence or becoming obsolete that run to the government for protection and use the government's coercive police powers to eliminate or suppress the competition. And that's what we see going on here. You have pharmaceutical companies, arguably the most profitable business on the planet, facing increasing competition from natural health care products that are cheaper, more effective, and without side effects. You have all the benefits and very few of the risks, and they see this. So what do? They run to the government of Sweden. They run to the government of the UK. They run to the European Commission in Brussels. They run to the Washington, D.C. in the United States, to Ottawa in Canada, to Canberra in Australia. You name it, they run there and they seek laws and regulations ostensibly to protect consumers. It's always about protecting consumers. These dangerous vitamins and minerals, these dangerous organic supplements, they need to be regulated because without us regulating them, how can you be protected? That's the usual cry. And, for most people it resonates. Oh, yeah, if they're so safe, of course they could be regulated.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So what most people don't realize is who's going to regulate it. Who's going to control the FDA in the U.S.? Is it going to be the vitamin companies or the pharmaceutical companies? Of course it's going to be the pharmaceutical companies. This whole concept of consumer agencies protecting our interests is one of the biggest myths of the 20th and 21st century. They're never protecting consumer interests. Never. There's not one. They protect the industry's interests they were meant to regulate in the first place, whether it's the trucking companies, whether it's the television industry, whether it's the airline industry, and whether it's the pharmaceutical drug industry. Who has the most interest in these agencies? Is it you or I? I mean, drugs occupy maybe 1% of our interest during the day. No, we're interested in books. We're interested in going to work. We have our personal lives, all of that. But for drug companies, it's 100% of their life.
Of course.
They're directly affected. Their bottom line is affected. So, of course, that's why they spend $6 million a day on lobbyists in the United States for federal lobbying alone. They're going to be right there and make sure their interests are protected. And this whole concept of captured agencies comes about. These agencies get captured by the industries they are meant to regulate. Who's going to be enforcing these rules? It's going to be the pharmaceutical companies, not us. And so they are going to use it to eliminate the competition. And what better way to do it now than through codex, through distant, unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats who are making these rules and regulations far from the shores of the United States, far from the shores of Great Britain, even from the shores of Sweden.
Yes. And
they can do this in near silence. Only outfits like the National Health Federation and a few others have drawn attention to it. And it's a real huge danger.
Yeah. Just quickly here, Scott, has there been any kind of scandals with some of the people who are involved in this in regards to bribes or whatnot, potential connections between drug companies and the people who are sitting on the committee or something like that?
I wish we had the resources to uncover that. Undoubtedly, there's something going on, but there's nothing that we could prove or we could show. But there undoubtedly is something going on, and it's just has not surfaced yet. Someday it will surface, I'm sure. But I can't say that such has happened just yet. It's just the nature of the beast, though. And a lot of times it doesn't take the form of an exchange of money in hands directly, but it's this revolving door thing where some of these bureaucrats end up getting jobs at the drug companies after they retire. So they can double dip with their income. And you see that in the United States a lot, and that's where I'm most familiar with it. But it's just the nature of the beast to have it happen. It's just that we haven't. They've been very careful about showing it, but the results are there. And even some of these trade industries for vitamin and mineral supplements, they
I do want to spend a little bit of time just a little while talking a little bit more about the National Health Federation and the implementation of the UK and French branch of that. But before we just go to that and begin to round things up here, if you look ahead a little bit in time here, and I know that, again, as you pointed out before, that Codex is a process, meaning that this will take a long time to get implemented, and by that time, by let's say 2013, new questions and things have undoubtedly popped up on their agenda, so to speak, of what they're trying to do and change and refine their own laws and so forth. But if you look at what they are trying to do right now and then look ahead into the future and see if all of this that they want to have implemented, if that indeed becomes implemented, what do you see that the consequences of this will be? How, if you can talk a little bit about how that might affect us on a day-to-day level or basis.
Well, it would be an incredibly reduced state of health, less nourishing food. It's already been shown that over the last 50 years, the quality of the food that we've been eating, unless you've been eating organic, has declined considerably. Most Britons eating food in Great Britain, they get very little selenium out of their diet. Selenium's very important as an anti-aging mineral and also as an antiviral agent. Men who have adequate levels of selenium, that is about 200 micrograms a day, have half the chance of catching the HIV virus as those who do not, just as an example. So it's super important for supplements to be there for people who have inadequate diets, low-cost supplements. It's also very important for people to be able to eat organic or non-GM foods.
Yeah.
It's very important for people not to be forced into compulsory immunization and the like. And so as time goes on, people get more and more regulated and accepting of these kind of demands made of them upon them by their own governments, and they'll get used to eating the Me Too junk food kind of diet, and the lifespans and the health of the people during those lifespans will suffer considerably. There'll be more deaths, shorter lives, and more ill health during those shorter lifespans as well. It's really incredible.
Yeah.
And what is going on here. But what does that mean? I mean, why would that interest pharmaceutical companies? Hey, suddenly they have more customers.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't go take vitamin D as an anti-cancer agent. You go take one of their chemotherapeutic drugs instead, or you go and have surgery or radiation treatment instead, when simply taking adequate levels of natural vitamin D could help prevent that cancer in the first place. And anyone living in northern latitude needs it, especially darker-skinned peoples who have very efficient skin that blocks out the vitamin D
That's right. Yeah.
producing production in the skin. And you just need to take vitamin D as a supplement to avoid cancer, viruses, bacteria, and the like. It's very, very important, just one of many things that are important to consume.
Okay, so obviously sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then you had asked about the NHF in the UK. One of the things we did, and starting next week on the 17th, St. Patrick's Day, we're launching officially the National Health Federation in the United Kingdom. We've had members in the UK for decades. It's just that now we're going to make it official with an actual organization based in Cardiff, Wales, for all of the UK. And then I was just on the phone today with a group of people who will be starting the NHF France as well. We don't have a date set for that yet. I'll have to meet with them, and there will be some further discussions. But we're making a concentrated effort to get the message out to consumers and to act in a concerted way on local, regional, and national issues that are important to Britons in that case, and French in the latter case. And then we also have the strong likelihood that a similar organization will spring up in South Africa as well. So we are expanding, and light a fire under them. I mean, and you have to do it persistently. You don't just contact them once. You keep writing their case, and you make sure that they do what you want to do
yes.
and have done to preserve your freedom. And that's what it's all about, Henry.
Very, very important. And we know, again, as more and more comes to light of what actually is really going on here, we definitely understand how important this issue is to our own health, obviously. I want to talk a little bit about what people can do to also support you. You mentioned previously here that you have a Health Federation News magazine. Is that something that people can subscribe to through your website that helps to fund you guys and keep you going and to help to keep you expanding? Is that how it works?
Yes. Thanks for asking. There are several ways. One, you just go to our website, which you mentioned before, www.the, and then our initials, nhf.com. And you can sign up for free on the e-list. And we're very strict about not giving away or selling or trading or exchanging or divulging in any way our e-list. That is kept strictly with us. In fact, there are only 3 people in the NHF who even have access to that e-list, let alone anyone else. We even fought a court case in the early 90s not to give out our private membership information. So it's kept very, very confidential, and we don't send it out. You won't get spammed with it. And so I encourage all your listeners to sign up there for our e-blasts and other announcements and information. The second thing to do, and maybe more importantly even, is not just to sign up for that, but to join as a member. If you're in the United States, it's only $36 a year, and you get the magazine. You don't subscribe to the magazine separately. If you're outside the United States, it's $81 a year because of the cost of sending the magazine, but we're considering having it work differently, where you can sign up without getting the magazine, or you get it online as a PDF file, in which case the cost would probably be about half that. And then the other way is to contact us if you're interested. If you're a listener in the United Kingdom, contact us and we'll put you in touch with a local representative there in Wales who is sort of the linchpin for launching this in the UK. The same thing with France. We can put you in touch there. And also, if any of your listeners are interested in starting NHF in another country, whether it's Germany or Spain or whatnot, please contact us that way as well.
And
for that reason as well.
And through the website is the best way. You have emails and contact forms there?
Yes, there's a button that says Contact Us, and it can be done through that. Or if someone wants to contact me directly, it's my initials, SCT, at thenhf.com. So SCT, Scott C. Tips, SCT at thenhf.com, and I'll get that directly as well.
Excellent. Again, I want to mention the website, thenhf.com. And to round things up here, Scott, for this time, and again, I want to thank you for your time, of course, but just mention a little bit about what you will be addressing during the AV2 conference here at the end of May in London.
Well, it will be a lot, I hate to say it, but it'll be a lot of what I've said in this 1 hour that we've had together, but it'll be expanding on it a lot more about
more details.
What people can do, about the wider spread dangers. I mean, this is given sort of the basics, but it will be much more comprehensive and much more direct. And then, of course, the audience will have the